What's going on? 2-minute warning. Fury's back at again. Sorry, I had to take a little quick hiatus. I had to fly over to Seattle. I have to get some soul searching for the team. We're struggling, but I think we have some good pieces we could put together to make things work for us, for the Seahawks. I mean, it's a tough battle for us. But you know what? The show must go on. We got Tim again. We got Josh. And we got Fognator. Guys, what's going on?
Not too much, Sean. Welcome back. Tim, put down your shirt, please.
I'm sorry. This is PG-13. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so folks, we had a pretty exciting week 3 in the NFL. We saw Tom Brady throwing a last-minute torpedo to Brandon Cooks to beat what seemed a huge upset coming by the Texans. Eagles shocking the Giants with a 61-yard field goal as time expired, and that was only the 7th time in NFL history that a kicker hit a field goal longer than 60 yards. Lions were involved in yet another crazy fourth-quarter comeback. Until the refs reviewed it and took the time off the clock, giving Atlanta the dub. Bears earning their first win of the season, handing Pittsburgh their first L of the year with 2 big plays in overtime. And then the Colts intercept Kaiser's last pass of the game to clinch their first victory of the season. T.Y. having a stellar day. So folks, Fox and Timmy, I just wanted to kind of get back to that first game where the Houston and Patriots. Now, I'm thinking Bill O'Brien is coming from the Patriots. He's an aggressive offensive style kind of coach. I understand that he has a rookie quarterback and maybe the confidence is in there, but when you have 2:24 remaining on the clock and he goes with the decision of just going with a field goal and you're giving that much time to Tom Brady at Gillette Stadium. Now, me personally, I thought he should have gone for it, but do you guys agree? Do you think he went with the right decision, or do you think he should have, went for it all with Watson?
I was cool with it. I was only cool with it because he put trust on the defense. You have a young rookie quarterback. You're up by the points. So basically, in a 2-minute drill is where, okay, we're not going to run the ball. You're going to pass the ball. And you have a great pass rush in Clowney and J.J. Watt. So what's the point of even I think it's basic, just hold your guys. Hold your guys. But, again, somebody didn't. Tom Brady made him pay with that Hogan touchdown. But I still agree with the call. I have no problem with Bill O'Brien going for the field goal.
Yeah, me neither. Again, we're talking the Texans defense. The one thing that was the bright spot for this team over the course of the last 3 seasons has been that defense, and not really much has changed. And you got Watt back, so from last season, the call was fine. The defense they're supposed to hold, but then again, you're going to go up against Tom Brady. What do you expect?
And I think Bill O'Brien shot himself in the foot this year already when he gave Savage the starting job. And then he's like, whoops, let me turn the tables and bring Watson in now. That's so much lost time and reps with the starting teams. And, yeah, I don't know. Not a good coaching regime so far for Bill O'Brien in my book. But
and you know what? I honestly thought they were going to win. They were up. I'm like, yeah, give the Tom Brady. Yeah, and I turned the channel, and it's like I turned back, like, how are they winning, losing? I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah,
I mean, and listen, can I get a little bit of credit? Can I get a little bit of credit, Shem? Because I recall we had our pick 'em last week, and I said upset. I picked an upset, and that was leaning towards an upset to 2 minutes. So I lost. I still like, hey. Listen.
You still want like a half gold star? We can do that. I think we can.
Yeah, I want half. Half is good. Half is better than none. Half is better than none. You know what's funny? When you look at what the Texans has done, the Chiefs has done, 2 powerhouse defense, they have Brady on the ropes. Like the Hall of Famer that, future Hall of Fame that he is, and made a great play. Busted coverage by the Houston Texans, but this is what he's known for. In order to beat him, you got to put him out. We saw what happened with the Falcons in the Super Bowl. So this was coming. Maybe he needed. It's like you cannot give this man a second. You got to beat him down to 0.
What about that Lions game? I know if I was a Detroit fan, I would be super salty on a day like this if my receiver was called down. Or I'm sorry, he was called, initially for the touchdown, but they had to review the play and it was overturned. So because they overturned the play and they had to review it, it burned off the rest of the time off the clock, and that prevented the Lions from being able to run another play potentially. So do you guys have any sort of fix? Like, do you guys have any sort of ideas where that can be eliminated in the future? Can anybody explain why they have to burn off that clock? Maybe why is there a way to just eliminate if the play's overturned, don't burn off the clock and reset the time?
You know what? I didn't look up into the rules on that, but I the fix would be just that: don't reset the time. Allow them the same time that it took for them to go run a play if you're overturning a touchdown in that particular case. So.
Some people are old school too, so that was my thought process with you guys. If you're like, no, do not change the rule. It's been that way since 1970, whatever. It is what it is. You have to leave it as is, and that's the rule, and it's been that way for so many games. But I'm more modern. I'd say the hell with it. If you can justify that something wasn't right, reset the clock, put the 8 seconds back on, and allow them to get another play in, or at least spike the ball and set up another play. It's a little ridiculous in my opinion.
1 second, y'all. I'm sorry. 1 second. I got this.
Oh, this can't be good. No, if he's getting up, I don't know about this. I don't know if this is good or bad. I don't know if this is part of the show.
Maybe you had to go to the bathroom.
See, I'm tired of this.
Oh,
I am tired of this.
Here we
See,
go.
this is a football. This is a football. What the hell is going on with the NFL with this? Okay, we got to catch. Yes. 2 feet in. To be told. Down. I mean, listen, it was a catch. Detroit was robbed. They was robbed. What the hell is going on? Look, Sterling Shepard, another one. Listen, I hate the Giants, but we got to call it how we look. Fireman got his head down. He know he's a Philadelphia fan. That was a touchdown. What the hell is going? Where? Make sure. Take the lead.
Playing devil's advocate as a fan, though.
I mean,
we have to keep it consistent. We have to keep it consistent, Tim. Shepard did the same thing Dez did in a way.
The ball's not moving. What is this? What's going on? This is when you catch it. Okay. This is a drop. Catch.
Okay, so
catch, drop. What's going on? What's so hard about that?
So here's the NFL rule. If a replay review inside of 1 minute of either half results in an on-the-field ruling being reversed, and the correct ruling would not have stopped the game clock, then the officials will run 10 seconds off of the game clock before permitting the ball to be put into play and ready for a play signal. So basically it's to keep it fair. I think when you bring it down to that type of situation and the game's on the line, I don't like the rule to begin with. Yeah, for either half.
There needs to be a game or a half. Yeah, that is a little ridiculous.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think that rule needs to get changed. Here he goes again.
Fox, I think
let it go.
Fox, I can't wait because this summer we're going to see the new rules implemented for NFL 2018, and it's going to be the Fury rule. I swear they're watching this right now. They're like, holy crap, you know what? They're absolutely right. Let's put an exception to that rule.
So here's the thing.
Revision in there.
The people who made
I would love that.
So the ones who made these stupid rules are the ones probably who never touched the ball a day in their life. They're like this. Put their glasses on. Look. We should all
They're going to give you 3 words, though, Tim.
And change the rules. We never played, but we could play. But we could change the rules into the way we like it. So the catch, complete the process. Make sure the ball doesn't tilt one way or the other way. Write that down. Yes. Yes, I never
Complete
played
the process.
football.
That's exactly what they're going to tell you.
Come on, it's just BS, man. You're taking the hard work and fun out of the game over a dumb call when a guy literally caught that football. It makes no sense. That Shepard was a touchdown. Golden Tate, I'm sorry, they got robbed. You all know the Dez Bryant one. That was a touchdown.
We're not qualified to do this show. None of us ever won a chip. That's it. It's over.
Hey, I want a chip in double Dutch, Little League. Damn it.
Have any of you played organized sports to be able to be talking sports? I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean,
moving on.
These guys are making the rules and change. Listen, hear me out. You gotta when these rules, you gotta have people in there. No disrespect to anybody who hasn't played, but you gotta have people in there who has played to basically say, listen, this is what works. Listen, a catch is a catch. If your feet is inbounds, that's all it is. It's not like college football, 1 feet in, 1 feet out. The ball's in, you're good, you have it. If you fumble it, you fumble it. If it does a little twist, a little twirl, move it. Oh, it moved. Did you see that inch? The white line was over here, not over there. Come on. You're taking the fun away. You're taking the come on. That's no good. It's no good.
So what do you guys feel about on Sunday? I really liked what I saw out of Jacoby Brissett. We all know when he was in New England, there was no way he was going to be seeing the field with Garoppolo and Brady there. It was just kind of like, we already know your fate. So he gets here, he arrives in the Indianapolis. To his benefit, Tolzien goes down, so he's put right in. And we all know once Luck is back, it's going to be his team, and he's the captain and all that. But Jacoby's been showing some good football. I mean, just this past Sunday, he had 70% completion, 17 for 24, 259, and a touchdown. He looked real comfortable in the pocket, especially with a team that he hasn't even had a minicamp or OTAs with. And how many reps has he had with the first string team there in Lucas Oil Stadium? Really, probably not too many. I wouldn't even probably put it in the triple digits, probably right underneath. But he's showing good signs. So let's play a little crystal ball, you guys. Do you see Jacoby becoming an NFL starter sometime down the road, or do you really basically see him just being a long-time clipboard holder and a backup in the NFL?
You know what? I'm a shock. Right here. Me personally, I think he could be the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts next season. Ooh. I can see something happens where Andrew Luck is traded. He wasn't happy where he was at. Of course, they would draft a quarterback if that was the case, compete with Jacoby Brissett. But remember, Jacoby Brissett is still a young player himself. I'll take anything that New England has touched, I would take. And you could tell his poise. You could see how well prepared he was. Nothing fazed him or nothing like that. So that's what you want out of the quarterback. Listen, those running touchdowns that sparked the team to win, regardless of what the top receiver Ty say. We score. That's how it goes. This is a work in progress.
I could see him being a starter. He looked good. I mean, but again, it was against Cleveland, albeit. But he looked good. He stood good in the pocket. He had a run, but I mean that offensive line in Indianapolis sucks. So you are running for your life the minute you get the ball. He completed 70% of his passes, I think, in that game. So that's incredible. So we gotta see more from him. I think he's probably going to be the starter until somewhere along the lines of week 6, week 7, when they decide, okay, is Luck healthy enough to go, and is this team in contention? And if they are, he could definitely be used as a trade bait for another team that could be looking for a quarterback.
Right.
Yeah, they probably need to do something with that O-line in Indy, or build up that defense a little bit.
I have to give the man credit. I really have to give him some type of credit because by him doing what he was doing, he set a spark. And let's see what happens next now. he's getting better now. If he puts the team on his back for a nice couple of wins, at the same time Andrew Luck is coming back in October, what do you do? Do you keep the man who's hot in, or do you go with Andrew Luck? This could be the same thing what happened with Dallas between Dak Prescott and Tony Romo. Romo's ready to come back. What happened? Jason Garrett decided, you know what, we're going to go with the hot man with Dak Prescott. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If I'm the coach, do you know how much you can get for Andrew Luck out there? How much draft picks? I mean, a team like the Cleveland Browns, you can look at.
Yeah, but Tim, that's not going to be up to coaching. That's going to be up to the organization itself.
And I think they should do it. I think
they might. Well, I don't think they should do it. They
what?
Might be stupid
Why
enough,
not?
but I don't think.
Why? Why? Come on, Fox. Why?
Put a solid offensive line in front of Andrew Luck, and you've got a top 5 quarterback in the league. It's just that simple. I mean, look at what he's done with crap in there. I mean, that team was smoke and mirrors, and that offense was thriving because of him. And he's in a similar situation to what Cam Newton is. These guys are getting the hell kicked out of them because their offensive lines are trash. You give him an offensive line that could protect him and give him some time, he will do damage. He does damage without them giving him time.
Okay, well, here's the thing, Fog. First of all, they committed so much money to the defense. They committed no money to the offensive line. They committed all their money to Andrew Luck. What money are they going to have to put in for the offensive line? They're going to have to draft a first-round offensive line for the next 4 or 5 years. I mean, you got to have some type of experience. You can't go next year, all right, I'm going to get the best left tackle. Second round, I'm going to give me a left guard. Third round, you need experience. They barely have any money. So if I'm them, and I'm like, okay, well, Andrew Luck has never won a championship. He's had his ups and downs. I give you that with the offensive line issues. But then again, I got to think about this. I could save me almost $100 million, build around a young quarterback, build me a nice defense, get me some offensive linemen, drafting and signing some off of free agency.
Again, you're asking an organization.
I'm just gonna jump in real quick just to let the callers know. Sorry, I've been having little sound difficulties, but we do have the line open. The number is 717-313-5155. If you're listening and you have something in your chest, I didn't check the wall as yet to see what the comment is, but you know, you definitely could dial in. I don't know if Josh, if you could throw up the phone number on your graphic, but it's
Kari was waiting to call in.
718-313-5155. All right, Tim, continue.
My thing,
you're asking an organization that the minute they got luck and an opportunity to build around him, they fucked it up. Plain and simple. They fucked it up. So you're going to tell them now, okay, let's trade Luck, get all this and build around Brissett? How? Since Polian left, that organization hasn't built shit.
Well, but
so whether they trade Luck or not, they're still going to suck.
I mean, listen, I saw this shit. There was 3 offensive linemen capable of going to the coach. They went defense.
Sorry, I got to cut.
I don't know what's the problem.
I just have to make a correction. It's 718. I'm sorry, not 717. 718-313-5155. Continue.
My whole thing is this, Fog. My whole thing is this: is that offensive line, they didn't touch it. They went straight to the defense. Straight to defense. I mean, if they don't think it's important, why are we even mentioning to say, well, Luck, that's why Luck needs to be a top 5 quarterback. If they feel it's fine, obviously we got what we got there. I mean, don't get me wrong. The franchise quarterback has been one of the most sacked quarterbacks the last 2 or 3 years. I mean, you got money, do something about it. Why go on one side? Oh, no. We're good with that. Luck can handle that. Let me go get defense. Nothing but defense. I mean, is Frank Gore still? I mean, when Frank Gore runs, is he leaving footprint fossils on the floor? I mean, the man's old. I mean, when are they going to drop the money back?
Hold up. Someone just dialed in from Washington State. Okay, Wallace Sherman dialed in, but I'm going to let you talk later.
This is Kari. Kari, man.
Kari?
The Raider fan.
Okay, we got Kari on the call. Well, what's on your chest, Kari? Hold up.
I wanted to touch on that Andrew Luck. I think it would be smart for them to trade Andrew Luck, but I think that organization did him a disservice. Him and Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers and Cam Newton, I think they might have the 4 worst offensive lines in the NFL. And I think they do the most with the least. And the Colts, I mean, they really haven't done much to help them out. Didn't he get a shattered spleen when he played against Von Miller and the Broncos one year? They won that game.
Was that a question?
Yeah. Didn't he have like some type of injury when he played the Broncos and they pulled out a tough win? Didn't he have like a shattered spleen? And he had to sit out like I think the rest of the season, like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
right. He did. I think he did.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I really don't. And then the owner, he's like a drug addict. Like he's a druggie. Like he's not even. I think it would. I think he might want to get traded.
All right. Well, thanks for your input, Kyrie. Next on the call is Wallace. My dude, say it with your chest.
Wow. Really? Trade Andrew Luck? Doesn't make any sense at all, yo. After paying him all that money, after what he's done, he's been injured. Somebody had the nerve to say he's an old quarterback. Who said that? That he's not a young quarterback?
Nobody said old quarterback. Frank Gore was saying he's an old running back.
Oh, he's an old running back? Okay.
No,
okay.
Somebody on the wall said he's not a young quarterback anymore. He's only 5 years into his career.
Me and Josh didn't say that.
Andrew Luck in the playoffs has never had more touchdowns than interceptions.
It doesn't matter. Andrew Luck in the playoffs has been to AFC Championship with
a 3-3 record as well.
Yeah, offensive line.
Never above 60% completion percentage in the playoffs as well.
Around him, have the coaching around him. Pagano needs to go. And that they need to draft better. They need to use Jacoby playing well as trade bait. There's plenty of teams out there that need a quarterback that will take him in a heartbeat. That would trade for him. All they need to do is put better players around him for him to be able to do what he needs to do. I mean, to be honest with you, T.Y. Hilton isn't a number 1 receiver on other teams. When put up, all his receivers are undersized. Mm-hmm. Every number 1 draft pick they done had where they took a receiver or they took a running back into lineman, it hasn't came through. Kelly's hurt. He has offensive linemen hurt every year. He hasn't had a running game, and the defense has been horrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that offensive line, if I'm not mistaken, in his career so far, only ranked in the top 10 in pass blocking once, and I think that was 2013 or 2014.
All right, let Wallace finish his last thought. Go ahead, Wallace.
Yeah,
what's your last thought?
Like you said, he's got to hold the ball because it's not just him holding the ball; it's the play calling. It seems like every play that's called for him is down the field. When he was coming back from injury a couple of years ago, when they would swapping between the 2 quarterbacks, they had plays called where it was short slants, it was out routes and everything for the quarterback that was backing him up. But then as soon as he got in the game, everything's downfield. Plays have to develop. It's all about the play calling and the personnel around him. You get that straight, you put him on any other contending team, and he's a Super Bowl champion.
Well,
and that's all I got to say about that.
All right. Thanks, Kyrie. Thanks, Wallace. All right, guys, continue.
Hey, Shem, I'll tell you this, Shem. I totally agree with your playoff record on him. I mean, my thing is this: the man got shoulder surgery. He had injury. He had, I think, 2 shoulder surgeries in the past. My thing is this: if I could get a good trade for him, don't get me wrong, trading Jacoby Brissett won't be a bad idea if they wasn't going that route because the man's showing that he could play. He came from the Patriots, so that's not a bad look. But me personally, if I got a quarterback with injury problems, injury issues, I'm getting rid of him now and building around the young guy I have. That's just my input. Not saying Luck is garbage. It's just the situation about him. That's it.
Yeah, you never know. We could be looking at another Andy Dalton when time comes. Could be a great regular season quarterback, or whatever you view above average, and then once playoff time come, it's kind of like you could have better around. But yeah, I don't. It's an interesting topic. Don't see many major headliners, talking about this, but it really could be a possibility, and that could be a very interesting take on it. He hasn't played full 16 since 2015 for Angela? Yep. Or I'm sorry, 2014. I apologize. So we'll have to see where they go with that. But Kari, thank you for reminding us about Jim Irsay being an alcoholic. We appreciate that.
An alcoholic pill popper.
Listen, shout out to Sherman. Let me tell you something. Sherman is the #1 true Colt fan. God bless, man.
Yeah, he actually wears an actual horseshoe around his neck. I don't know how he does it. Fellas, since we were on the topic of Jacoby Brissett, let's talk about where he came from with Tom Brady. 40 years old, already has, 1,092 passing yards? The NFL record in a season is 54-77. Tom Brady's arguably going to have the best season at 40 years old. Is Tom Brady going to have the best season arguably ever?
Well, here's my thing. I'm putting on my glasses right here because I want to share. I had to do a lot of math. I had to go back to school and do a lot of math. I look right?
You look good,
right.
actually.
You look
Very
studious.
educated.
You look studious.
Professor Spooney is here.
Here it goes. Okay,
Like
Tom Brady right now needs 5,477 yards. Remember that, 5,477 yards, all right? He has 1,092 yards right now in 3 games. That means right now he's averaging 364 yards a game, okay? So that means to get to 5,477 yards, he has to average 337 yards, rounded off to 338 yards a game. And you know what my answer is? He's going to do it. He's going to break the all-time record.
I love the music. I can't get over that. That's awesome. And I got to throw in, Tim. You actually kind of look like Suge Knight a little bit with the glasses.
Hey. Listen, I didn't break out no way. I'm here.
Tim, I have to agree. Looking at the schedule, Panthers, you got the Jets on there, Chargers, Raiders, Dolphins, Bills. Bills, not so much. I'll give them that. Bills defense is pretty good, but Steelers, those are all secondaries that are very vulnerable. And Tom Brady is going to be licking his chops when he's at home, looking at his Windows Surface tablet, looking over the place. But yeah, I have to agree with you, Tim. I honestly think he does it, and I'm ready for Fogg's take. I know he dissected every game. He probably simulated it on Madden for us.
I don't think he does.
Oh, what a party pooper, Tim. Why do we invite Foggs around?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think he's a cool guy, but then sometimes it's like, man.
Shit.
Weird.
When you think about it, I think in the last, is it Drew Brees that's the only quarterback in the last decade that's gone over 5,400 yards passing in a season?
Fact check.
I'm not fact check that, but I think he might be the only guy that's thrown for over 5,400 yards in a season in the last decade.
He is the one with 54-77. You are correct, sir.
So if that's the case, we're asking Tom.
I lied. I'm sorry. I apologize. Peyton Manning is the one.
Oh, yes, Manning. Manning did it as well.
But you're correct. Breeze is the only one to reach 5,000 more than once, having done so 5 times.
But again, he's going. We're talking about going over 5,400 yards. Breeze did that, I think, once, and the Manning did. He did what? 55.
54.
I think it's possible. I mean,
I don't, and I just don't see it. I just don't see it. He's going to be playing outdoors. You're talking about getting into the cold weather. The reason why Peyton Manning was able to do it, He had great receivers, and if you look at the start of that season, and he went for over 5,400 yards passing, he was demolishing teams until the very end. Then it started to taper off. To have a quarterback average over 330 yards per game for an entire season, that's going to be tough to do. I just don't see. I don't see him doing it.
Well, may I, Fogg? The upcoming games: Carolina Panthers. That's about 400, 500 yards right there. Tampa Bay. Okay, at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, their defense. That's gonna be a good game. At the New York Jets. Trisha, I know you're watching. I don't know. That's going to be a hard one. I don't know. You know why? Because 2MW will be at their tailgate there. And for some reason, when 2MW is there, the Jets defense come alive. I don't know. Then you got the Falcons match. Okay, so that's possible that can happen. It's going to be a passing game back and forth. At the Broncos, let's see what they're about towards the end of the season. The Raiders. We all know who the Raiders. Did you see what Kirk Cousins did? Come on, did we see what Kirk Cousins did over there? What do you think Tom Brady's gonna do over there? Come on. So then you have the Buffalo Bills. Depending on where they at, they have the number 2 defense in the league. Then you have the Miami Dolphins. Again, did you see what the Jets did to them? The Steelers, the Bears, and the Browns. The Browns almost beat the Steelers. The Bears beat the Steelers.
Oh, we're going to get into that.
Then the Jets again. I think in one game, I think maybe 2 games out of that, he's going to double points enough that during the hard games, 200 yards. I think he's going to break it. He has the weapons all around.
Yeah, it should be interesting as hell. I think the Gillisleys that are pound back, I agree, Tim. I think he's just going to ball out. His passing is phenomenal this season, like it was last year. He's just picking up from where he left off. You can't stop the rain.
Right.
Tim, let's get into your segment, though. I know you wanted to play this upset or not an upset. We're going to go with the Jets over the Dolphins.
Yeah, the Jets beat the Miami Dolphins 20-6. Was that an upset? Yes, that was an upset. I mean, my whole thing is this: who would it just have on offense? Offense to beat the Miami Dolphins. We're talking about Curse, Richie Anderson. I mean, wow. We're talking about Jarvis Landry, Jay Cutler, Jay Ajayi. Forgot the other receiver's name. My God, he didn't do it too good, so I don't even know his name. The point is this. I'm sorry. The point is this. The Miami Dolphins, I mean, the team that I picked, like the top 5 team in the AFC, we lost to the New York Jets 20-6. And the 6 points came in garbage time. We tried to get 2 points, I believe. Jai, 16 yards rushing? Are we kidding me? 16 yards? Wow. He's playing? He wasn't playing that. No, he wasn't. No, he couldn't have been. He couldn't have been playing. He's a free agent. How did this happen? Wow. An upset.
Yeah, I have to agree. I don't see the Jets winning more than 2 games, and here they already have their 1. So I'm sure there was a lot of people, if you're involved in the ESPN little elimination pool, I'm sure the Dolphins were a huge pick this week, and there's probably a lot of people that are rebuying in. So, yeah, I don't understand how Ajayi was held to what he was held. I'm glad I started Devontae Parker in one of my leagues, though. Shout out Devontae. Thank you very much. But, yeah, Dolphins, when you're talking about possibly benching Cutler and bringing in Matt Moore for a spark, yeah, I think I'm going to call that an upset. Fox?
Yeah, it's the biggest upset of the week. The fact that Miami went to New York and got manhandled by a dumpster. Like they it was ridiculous. It was like Roy Jones Jr. getting into the ring and fighting a one-armed man and getting his head knocked off. The Jets completely suck. There's no offense there, and yet somehow they managed to score. And in their defense, I get all the credit in the world to Todd Bowles. They got a good defense there. But they shut down a guy who was setting records last season for 200-yard games. What happened? And Jay Cutler, look, Jay Cutler's Jay Cutler. You knew that was going to happen. Just didn't expect it to happen to the Jets.
Tula Jordan. Wow. Late but never was good, Tula.
What a coincidence. We're on your favorite team of the year.
The Jets, yeah.
Yep.
God, they're awful. But they're here's the thing. I don't believe in upsets in the NFL just due to parity. I believe in surprises. Was this a surprise? Oh, absolutely. The Jets are horrid. Jesus Christ. They're like, I actually watched that game. It was terrible to watch. It was like one of the most terrible blowouts I've ever seen. It was unbearable. I think the biggest surprise to me is, like Fox said, the Jets somehow had enough offense to score 20 points. How? Where? Look at the skill. I don't know. I mean, I don't think Jets fans should take this as a sign of things to come. They're going to be pretty bad, but I made a joke a few weeks ago that, the Jets are one of those teams where they can't tank right. They'll find a way to win 4 or 5 games and ruin that for themselves. I guess this is one of those games. And shame on you, Miami. I understand getting shut down because, the Jets defense, it's a good defense, but you couldn't do anything on offense? Come on.
Well, straight out of the Miami Herald this morning, there was a bright spot. Rashad Jones, he had about 8 tackles. So there's that.
Well, I see why. Just as a defense, I wonder how many tackles they missed in general for the Dolphins. Come on, it's the Jets. I know there are Jets fans watching, but they're bad on offense. They're horrible, and they hung up 20 points. It's amazing me.
Listen, that Jamal Adams, listen, no joke. Them safeties, with no joke.
I said it, and people laughed. I said Jamal Adams is the best prospect pound for pound in that draft class.
And you know what?
And because of the position he played, he fell.
Well, Trisha said 10-6, Josh. Let's see where this goes.
They're on the way.
Now it's 10-6. First she said 9-7. Now she's up in the ante at 10-6.
No, she always said 10. She said 10-6. You get me?
Fox is about to screenshot it.
But there's no reason to screenshot it. It's the Jets.
Well, here's the thing.
If she puts playoffs on there, then I'll screenshot it.
If she says 9-7 and they make it 10-6, that's gonna be more bold. But if they get 9 or 10 wins with this offense, that's
not getting 9
if they
or
get
10
8 wins, it's impressive because I didn't see this happen. Everybody lost in Vegas picking Miami. Everybody lost.
But Tim, do you think the Jets, what they did is sustainable? Do you think they could keep this up for another 13 games?
Well, so to be honest with you, we've all seen. Listen, I give a perfect example. Became the Rams when Trent Green preseason, and then Kurt Warner came in. Nobody knew who Kurt Warner was. The guy was just bagging groceries at a supermarket. All of a sudden, they went on to a 14-2 record. I didn't see that coming. So I can say this. I'll say this. I had said 3-13. Right now, I'm gonna put it to 5 wins.
Tim, even with those Rams you talked about, they had Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Marshall Faulk.
Not the first year. I'm talking about the very first Rams team when Trent Green went down. Remember, he didn't get to play that first season with them. He was out in the preseason. It was Kurt Warner.
But even then, if you look at their skill players, it's still way better than anything the Jets currently have.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you, but Isaac Bruce, I mean, he was great, but nobody still saw it coming. Marshall Faulk just got there. Okay, who was the other guy? Isaac Kim was it? Was Ricky Pro. Excuse me, the white guy, Ricky Pro. So Ricky Pro and Isaac Bruce. Nobody saw a combination that was crazy. Now the second year, when they got Isaiah Kim and Torrey Hoban, it's scary now. But with that first season, nobody saw that coming. So I'll say this: we have seen the Giants 8-8. They limped into the playoff. All of a sudden, the Road Warriors, they knocking everybody out. Eli Manning.
9-7. Thank you.
Crazy things happen. Crazy things happen. Look at the Bills.
Yeah, but crazy things don't ever happen in favor of the Jets. It's never a good story when it's crazy and it comes to the Jets. You can't say crazy good and have the Jets in that same statement because everything that happens to them is crazy bad.
Can I give you a good one? Can I give you a nice, memorable moment for the New York Jets?
All right.
Does everybody remember Tom Tupa, the punter?
Yeah.
I think it was either Vinny Testaverde or Rick Meyer that went down. Tom Tupa, the punter, came into the game, threw the touchdown, I believe, to Wayne Quebec, to Keyshawn Johnson. We're talking about a punter. I'll give you another one. How about Thriller at the Meadowlands? When all the Jet fans was walking away, Miami's up by 4 scores, everybody's out. In a minute of 13 minutes, the Jets beat the Miami Dolphins in a last minute comeback in the whole fourth quarter. Things happen. So it's not out of the question with the New York Jets. You know what it is? Is the teams that come in and take a team very lightly. And I like Todd Bowles as a defensive coordinator. Those guys are grinding. They're balling now. So, I mean, listen. Hey, Sean, we'll be here October 15 with the Jets. October 15 with the Jets, right? I'm gonna say like that.
You saw that plane crash, right? Josh just put it up. Jets are going down.
Oh, here's Bryce Petty right now.
We'll see though.
We're giving the Jets way too much airtime. Our folks we're at
way too much.
-1. You were right now.
But I'm saying crazy things that happen with them. Crazy situations that happen. And
you know what? But to Fog May's point, like this is the craziest things that happen for the Jets. I mean, the Jets are that bad. It's just you can't say they're the greatest and the worst team at the same time. You can't lie and whack.
No, they're not the greatest. But what I'm saying is, don't take them lightly. You never know.
And with all this Jet talk, we have gone down to 0 viewers. One viewer has actually asked for his time back. So we're at -1 viewer. We hope to get that -1 back to 0 in the next few minutes. Let's get to the next game, though. We have more games to talk about. A couple more games, and we're going to get to our last subject. We're going to close this out for the night, fellas. Bears over Steelers. You know why I'm saying this is an upset? Hell yeah, this is an upset all day. Because the Bears running backs were also the Bears' best receivers. They don't have an offense, and they just ran all over the Steelers. I'm sorry. And all the Steelers fans this year on the wall, oh, that's a dub, that's a dub, that's a dub. Going over their schedule, please. Y'all just got scraped by the laughingstock during the draft this year. You guys got plowed by Tariq Cohen, a rookie, and Mike Glennon, the guy that looks like the Sudafed James and the Giant Peach character. You guys got stomped. I'm sorry. That is the biggest upset over the Jets and Dolphins. The Bears.
I'm sorry,
I have to agree. I was surprised.
I'm not surprised. That's not an upset. I'm not surprised at all. Shit, I told you this last Thursday. I said, listen, they beating the Browns 21-18 off of a rookie interception with T.J. Watt. They beat the Minnesota Vikings on the day where, okay, we want to announce Sam Bradford would not play this game. So you went in there, a fresh quarterback got prepared, goes in there, you beat him. You barely beat him, but you beat him. So then you go to Chicago, you play one play away from Trubisky coming to the football game, and you won 23-17. Lost 23-17 on 2 running backs, a combine of 200 yards, and the better receiver. I keep saying the Pittsburgh Steelers are overrated. They do not play their less competition any well. They don't. What Le'Veon Bell did. Listen, if I'm right now, you know what I'm gonna do? right now, if I'm the Steelers organization, I would pull Le'Veon Bell by the ear, walk him downstairs, get the fuck out of here, go left, right. Let me start Connor a hungry back. Money. You guys are soft having this man come here and not practice. And I'm only being asked what to do. But you know what? If that was Sporting's team, I'm asking you to take your yellow ass out of here now. Not an upset.
Look, I don't think it's that surprising. I don't think it's.
Timmy,
you
don't gotta go home, but you gotta get that flag.
The Fogs, they have the best linebacker corps in the whole NFL.
Well, here's the thing: the Chicago Bears did wonders with the running game last year, and the Steelers, they weren't that good of a defense. Remember, the Steelers got hot around week 9 or week 10 last season. Before that, their defense was in the bottom third rankings. Ooh. And they're right there again this season. So they're starting this season the same way they started last season. The problem is that offense is offensive right now. They got the 28th ranked running attack and the 16th or 15th ranked passing attack. You've got Le'Veon Bell and the 28th ranked rushing attack. And you allow the Bears to stop you. This isn't as much of an upset, Chicago beating them, as it is possibly the Pittsburgh Steelers not making the playoffs this year.
Yeah, to help. I was very to understand how bad Chicago is as a team. They're horrid. Are they New York Jets bad? Yeah, they're about that. They're pretty close. They're pretty neck and neck, actually. I think the only difference is that if you look at Chicago's run game, they got two exciting backs. They got the thumper and Jordan Howard, who's the size of Darren Sproles, right? But he runs between the tackles as hard as Jordan Howard does.
Yep.
Their interior got Kyle Long and Josh Sitton. They got all pros there. Their tackles are offensive, and their quarterback is Mike Glennon, but I was surprised. I mean, I thought the strength of this Pittsburgh defense would be in stopping the run, and they just couldn't keep up. I was surprised. I feel the same way about the Bears. They'll win 3 or 4 games and look back, go 9-7, and say that was a game we should have won, and it was. Because it's the Bears.
3 sacks, too. They got 3 sacks on Big Ben.
The Bears.
Now, what's your fellas' mindset over the Vikings and the Bucks? Do you feel that was an upset? When I'm looking at it, I initially was going to say I was teetering to the side of upset just due to Case Keenum and that whole revamped offensive line going against, the hyped up Bucks on paper, blah, blah, blah. Both sides of the ball looking good. But then I thought about it, and I thought, with the Bucks, I've always had the same thought about Winston. He's a huge question mark because I don't know how he's going to step up or how consistent he can remain, if he's going to take that step forward in these huge games and not throw those silly, dumbass picks that he does. But he did, and it really wasn't surprising to me. So the only thing surprising in this game was Case Keenum being the highest-rated quarterback of the week. But other than that, I thought from the get-go the Vikings had a chance to win this with a great offense and, a very good defense. So I'm not calling this one an upset.
Nah, I think personally is not an upset because Minnesota's defense is great. Xavier Rhodes back there holding Evans. They frustrated Evans almost all day. And, led the league, led the game in reception for the Buccaneers along with Adam Humphries. So that tells you taking away your best target. But my problem with Jameis Winston is, listen, you got a lot of weapons. Your job is not to just look at Mike Evans. I mean, he's your first look, but Xavier Rhodes is covering. That's a challenge. Look elsewhere. They spend a lot of money on guys and a lot of good draft picks on other guys. You got Howard, you got Deshaun Jackson, you got Brady. Who took a crap on his pants, took a crap on the sidelines. I mean, that's how pissed he was. I mean, it was disgusting, but my God, you have guys who are willing to play. You got to spread that ball around.
You look at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay just didn't convert on third downs. I think they were 1 for 6 on third downs. The 3 turnovers, obviously the interceptions by Jameis Winston, and then the big thing, the running game, the time of possession. They had the ball for 22 minutes.
Right.
Minnesota dominated the clock. They just kept feeding the ball to Dalvin Cook, and they controlled the game. They controlled the tempo of the game, and then you add those 3 interceptions to it. Case Keenum was just there to manage the game, and that Tampa Bay defense just completely they fell off. They didn't show up. Well, I can't say they didn't show up, but that second half of the game, they were exhausted. Again, the time of possession was killer. They were on the field for a large portion of that game. So it's not a surprise that it was an upset. I think Tampa Bay is going to be an up and down team this season. They're going to go and flow the way Jameis Winston goes and flows. There's going to be games where they're going to look great, and then there's going to be games where they're going to look like this. They played a solid defense this week, so that hurt them as well. But this was a game that they should have been in and had an opportunity to win, and Jameis Winston just threw all that away.
I'm not shocked by this at all for a few reasons. Being, I think the Vikings had a sour taste in their mouth after the previous week in Pittsburgh. Secondly, I think Tampa Bay is probably the most overrated team in the NFL right now. Everyone overrates them greatly. I'm not sure why. They've been bad for a pretty long time. I know they made additions to Deshaun Jackson, O.J. Howard. Oh, Jameis Winston's going to take that step. Let me give you a comparison to Jameis. You know what I think Jameis Winston is? I think Jameis Winston is a poor man's Phillip Rivers. I think Jameis Winston is a poor man's Phillip Rivers. I think he's a guy who is going to have some really good games, and he's going to be a guy that has a lot of YOLO-type throws that turn to interceptions, and you just scratch your head and ask yourself, why'd you throw that? Looking at their offensive line, I think their offensive line is offensive. Outside of Ali Marpet, I think their line's terrible, and it showed because Minnesota's front seven beasted. They had fun with that. I don't think they didn't address that. If you can't run the ball and defense can't keep up, and that's what happened. So no, I'm not terribly surprised. I think Minnesota, although they'll lose this week to Detroit, of course, I think they're underrated. And I think Tampa Bay is grossly overrated. Mm-hmm. If Tampa Bay finished 5-11, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think they're a great team. And it starts with Jameis Winston being the poor man Phillip Rivers. If he could be Phillip Rivers, then I'd have a little bit of a better outlook.
Nice take. All right. We're going to close out the night basically with the hottest topic going around the nation right now. We're going to get into a little bit about the anthem, but we're focusing more on Villanueva here. I don't know how you guys feel about what he did, but I don't know if he was forced or if he felt that he should just come out alone based on, PR on his individual reflection. But he came out and apologized for coming out and standing in front of his team who was in the tunnel, and he stood about maybe 15, 20 feet in front with his hand over his heart for the anthem. Do you guys feel that he needed to issue an apology? Was it needed? Was it warranted? Do you feel like he did it just for the PC police in our culture? I'm a huge believer that, if you're military and you served and you protected our country, you have every right to go out there and honor the flag that you fought hard for. You basically risked your life for 1,000 somewhat days over enemy lines, just to ensure that we have the rights and the freedom that we do. So I don't look at it as he slaps his team in the face or any such thing as that. I think it's highly known that he's a military serviceman and he's just doing what he was basically taught and raised, in the military to do, kind of respecting your country and this is what you're fighting for, etc. So I think at the same time, he can still respect his teammates, that are voicing the oppression and the brutality, and not to lose, the real message in all this. Because fuck Trump and whatever he's trying to say, the real message is about the brutality in all this. So we need to keep that a key focal point in this message. But at the same time, I really don't think he really needed to issue the apology, in my own opinion. I feel like what he did was fine, and I feel there's other ways he could go about, supporting his teammates, whether it be social media or, after the game, prior to the anthem, whatever it may be, in the clubhouse.
Well, you know what? Let me just jump in real quick. And for the most part, I do agree with you, Josh. And what I think it was, the problem is the Steelers had a plan, but he wanted to do something. And it seems like it was a last-minute effort on his part because he is a soldier. He did serve the country. And that is their culture. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell someone to change their culture. What I think it should have been done was a understanding of what should have been done. Maybe he should have been out there, do what he have to do, and in a press conference he explained himself, meaning that it's my culture, but I'm standing with my team, what they've done. And so right then they already have a script before this whole thing started. I think that's their problem. They did not really have a script for the different ideologies for the team because he's the big service guy, and it's really hard for him to not be who he is. Now, I'm for the protests. I'm for a team that just want to sit in the locker room and be out of the limelight. I'm for however you want to deal with the situation. I just don't think they had a real plan. Because now he's apologizing. He shouldn't have to apologize. They should have a plan how they're going to conduct for his sake and the team's sake, and they didn't do it.
Well, here's my take on this. First of all, I'm gonna say this, like I've been telling everybody else this. But first, I'm gonna say no. He shouldn't have to apologize. Number one. Number two, room is not protesting. This is something that was given to the players. They don't feel like protesting from back in the 80s and the early 90s of football. So there was players sometimes who stood in the locker room while the anthem was going on. Now, we didn't see it on TV with the anthem, but players were doing it. So I'm going to say this first again. Sitting in the locker room is not protesting. That's number one. Number two, now that it was Big Ben and Cameron Hayward, the two guys who wanted to come out for the flag during the anthem, but there was a lot of rumbles going on in the locker room. Now, my feeling is the reason why he apologized is because, okay, here's the thing. And no disrespect to anybody. I'm not disrespecting the protest. I agree with it. It's freedom of speech. But what I'm thinking is some of these guys feel like they're being forced in a way where, okay, if I don't join my guy next to me, my brother next to me, I'm gonna be looked at in a different way. That's the way I'm looking at it, because Villanueva, whatever's going on in that locker room, it was like, well, listen, it is what it is. I'm going out there, I'm gonna give respect to the flag. It is what it is. While the other guys stood in the back of the locker room. But again, there was rumblings between Big Ben, Cameron Hayward, and the other guys because they were not on the same page about it. Whatever you feel like you want to do, be your own man and do it. Okay, it's like Barack Obama said the other day. We're going to have two people with two different views. Just because you're not on the same page as views don't mean you don't respect each other, learn each other's view, and support each other. If me, Josh, Fogman, and Sean, we want to protest, hey, listen, I'm going out there. If you don't support me, you're not my brother. You're not my brother. Now, me doing what you want to do doesn't make me your brother. Me respecting what you want to do and understand what you want to do, supporting what you want to do, that's what brothership is.
But you know what? I have to agree with you, Tim, and I think that's what they never done. And you know what? To that one point, you say that sometimes other teams will get looked at the bad way because look, your other brother is protesting and you not. And I have to agree with that as well. And it's the same argument I have with people that talk bad about Michael Jordan. why Michael Jordan didn't help the black community. Why he's not the voice of the black community. He's this big star, you know, this big black athlete. Why isn't it like? And the thing is, to Tim's point, you know what? This is America. If you want to be who you are, you should be who you are. I'm more focused on those who want to fight for those causes, and I want to deal with them. If you don't want to, good luck in life with you. I don't have to. Me calling that person out is a waste of time.
Right.
Because we're here for a cause to make a difference, and the more time you focus on who's not doing what, you're missing out on who's willing to help. And you never know, down the road, if you make a movement, Michael Jordan might want to join you next time. That brother who did not want to protest with you, you know what? You guys make a movement, you're making change. I want to help out now. So stop focusing who's not helping. Focus on who's making the movement. Join together and keep pushing that narrative. Keep pushing that voice, that interest, that protest.
I think you guys are overstating this entire situation. I think it's an overstatement with him apologizing and everything. I think when you look at it, the apology that was made, it was more PR move than anything else. I mean, they are this. If you were supposed to be, to Tim's point about being brothers, and that's how they are in the locker room, and it was agreed upon in the locker room that this was going to be done a specific way, and then he turned around and branched out from it. I don't think he needed to apologize and make a big public apology. I think, hey, maybe his conversation with his team would have been the better way to do it, but doing it publicly, it set a message to everybody that was watching, like, oh, so this came out prior to that, this is what was going to happen, and now it's not, and now this guy came out and he did it separate. He did it his own way, and that's not something that, again, they wanted to portray.
Yeah, and that was a point I made earlier, is that they should have had a plan what they're supposed to do, instead of everybody, you know, supposed to be in the locker room and then he break out and now he has to apologize. The apologizing part was because everybody said they're all going to stay inside, and all of a sudden he came outside and to salute the flag. So it caused confusion. And like what you say, Tim, the media will eat that up and blow it out of proportion. So he kind of set himself up for that. They should have had a plan. If it was important for him, they should have had a plan and make that statement beforehand and play it out. But they did.
Yeah, you know what too bothers me, Sean and Shim? What bothers me is that also, you know, it's like a lot of us in the social media world, we all becoming the media, the people that we don't want to be. And what I mean by that is this. Is that now we're more interested to see who is protesting and who is not. And my thing is, who cares? Okay, so if a guy decides or a team decides not to protest, you're gonna hate that team. You're gonna hate that player. That means you're becoming the very own person that we don't like. The ones who judge, the one who says X, Y, and Z about us. Be better than that. If the person doesn't want to protest and the media ask him why, and that's his belief, we respect that. We respect his wishes. The same way he's going to respect yours if he decides. I mean, we having fans on, and it's disgusting. Oh, my God, that team is kneeling better than that team. No, he's kneeling with one knee. We had somebody who was basically saying because Ray Lewis had two knees. I mean, because
well, you have to understand. Ray Lewis changed. Like, he was on one side of the fence hard, and then switched sides.
Okay, but Sean,
that's different.
Okay, but Sean, you know what? The only thing I would say about it is that, guess what? If Ray Lewis is throwing something in the community, I would not be there because I don't trust him. We're talking about tearing down his statue. Are we going to now degrade the man because of what side of the fence he's on, but not remember the Ray Lewis who played football? Is that what it comes down to? You'll become, the people who are acting like that are becoming the same people that we are against right now. That's the problem.
But that's because we live in a society of two extremes. Everybody wants to go all the way on one side of the spectrum or all the way on the other side.
I agree. The people aspect and their judgment is, for the most I should say for the most part, the ones who with the loudest voice are very judgmental and they're sometimes like overzealous. But I'm not talking about the overzealous judgment. I'm talking about, Ray Lewis himself. And Ray Lewis, Ray Lewis caused that whole commotion because people are very emotional. And now when Ray Lewis is on the far side of the argument, and then all of a sudden switch far on the other side of the argument without any nuance, without any showing of growth, or he evolved on the subject. He never showed any of that. All of a sudden, it's like, come on, Ray. That doesn't make sense.
Okay, but not. But can't people sometimes have a change of mind? Oh no, we don't accept that. If it wasn't down in the beginning,
I'm not saying you.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you, Sean. But I'm saying in general. I'm saying in general. You do have people.
Yeah.
So
okay, so
Tim,
I'll ask you this question then, Tim. Hold on a second. I'll ask you this question then, because I get people having a change of heart. What Ray Lewis did seems disingenuous to me. So are we going to say that Jerry Jones, that Stephen Ross, that Robert Kraft, the statements that they made, that was a change of heart?
No, I don't. Listen, here's the thing. There's two things I believe. I stand by myself. I don't know anybody else but myself. Number one, who am I to say they're lying? That's number one. Number two, who am I to say they assume? I'm not with them 24/7 to get a feel of do I believe them or not. If that's what they said, I have to read it and go by it. But it doesn't mean that I have to sit there and judge them. Also, you're a liar. I don't believe you because you're old. I mean,
but here's
that makes no sense. I'm becoming the same people that we are against right now.
I hear what you're saying, Tim. But the thing is, when it comes to a movement that's very important to someone, you don't want someone who you can't trust on the movement. You can't just all of a sudden add Ray Lewis to your ranks when you feel that his movement is genuine. If it doesn't feel right to you, Tim. I'm not saying I'm going to say Ray Lewis is lying outright. I'm just saying I can't just trust Ray Lewis right now because and just hear me out. He never showed how he grew on the subject. There is no nuance. He never really came out and explained himself. He just went out kneeling and that's it. No word. Done. Photo up. Ray Lewis gone. No word. He didn't come.
I can agree with that.
He never really said anything of why he kneeled down. He just came out, kneel, walk away.
But here's
if you are so far on one side of the argument, and all of a sudden you want to hop on board on the far other side of the argument, but only for a photo op and then bounce, that is not helping any argument. It's not helping your old position. It's not helping your new position. It confuses everything. And people who feel very passionate about this, what Kaepernick is good doing, and see Ray Lewis doing this, it seems like he's just doing for a photo up and bounce. And that is what I'm talking about. Okay, if it's sincere, okay, cool, Ray Lewis, it's sincere. But you know what? You're not helping the situation at all when you don't bring any dialogue of what you're doing. You change your position, you evolve, you need to have a dialogue about it. You don't just evolve and then bounce.
Okay, Sean, let me ask you this, Sean. Let me ask you this. Okay. People were asking why Colin Kaepernick hasn't spoke to say he wants to play in the NFL, right? We all say I've said he doesn't have to. He didn't retire, right? So here's the thing. So why can't we give the same respect to Ray Lewis to say, well, no, all of a sudden because I took a knee, now I owe an explanation. How about he feels whatever he was saying wasn't wrong? Sean, hold on, Sean. I'll let you speak, Sean. I'll let you speak. My whole thing is this. Saying earlier when you came out and said does not trust you, fine. You are entitled to do that. You're entitled to say that and feel that. You may not trust you. But the one thing is, what I'm trying to say is this. When we assume and we're judging, we are becoming the very same people that we are against today. If he took a stand, we don't know. First of all, the media is the one who interview who they want to interview.
Yeah,
like I said, maybe Ray Lewis felt that he didn't have to say anything.
Let's not bring the media into this. But the thing is, Tim,
But you did though.
You do, because put it this way, Tim, and Kyrie has to say something. I'm going to let Kyrie. Here's the point I'm making, Tim. I'm not saying that he has no rights to do that. I'm not saying he has to give an explanation.
Right.
No.
Okay.
And there are people who's going to blow it out of proportion. You can't stop people for doing that. And the media will blow it out of proportion. I'm just saying this. If you're going to make a statement or an expression on a subject that's very important to someone, especially when you was very much against it, and now all of a sudden you're for it, but yet that change, that evolution, there is no context to that evolution. Is like, it seems like he's just doing that for his own personal gain. If you don't give any context about it, the people who cherish this movement dear to their hearts, and all of a sudden this guy just came up for Photoshop and bounced, that is not doing due justice to people who feel very important. Let Kyrie get a point in, because we're late. We're going late.
Okay. No, but it's correction. Randy just said he wasn't protesting, he was praying. So correction.
Oh, come on. You see, that is the BS right there.
No, I'm doing what Randy was saying. I'm doing what Randy was saying.
Go ahead, Kyrie.
You got to turn Kyrie up.
Oh.
Matter of fact, Ray Lewis did say he was praying. He spoke. He got interviewed. Thanks a lot,
He
Randy.
was on two knees. I mean, that's what I saw in the picture.
Could you guys hear Carrie? Could you guys hear Carrie?
No, I didn't hear
No,
Carrie.
in here.
That's
Come on, Carrie. You're rated, man. You're supposed to be yelling.
Yeah, well, I think it's something wrong with my sound, because I can hear Carrie, but you may not be able to.
Kari. His name isn't Carrie Underwood. It's Kari. Respect the man.
My bad.
No, but to me, Ray Lewis looked like he was gardening or something, because he was on both knees. I thought that was funny as hell.
Can you guys hear Kari?
No.
Nope. Nah, Ray Lewis is full of more shit than a colostomy.
Sorry about that, Kari. But we're having difficulties.
And I have no problem being judgmental on him, because everything he said was so anti what he did. I don't care that he was on two knees praying. You were out there with your arms locked with your former team after you were sitting there chastising players for doing that exact thing. You were mad about players doing that exact thing, criticizing and judging them. Same thing again. And you're at, I was praying. Shut up, hypocrite.
I mean, listen. I'll say it.
Yeah, well, Tim, and I'm just going to add to Fogmate. You see, yes, you can say what about the media, but perception is key. Because before his explanation that he was praying, this is even worse, because this is news to me. I thought he just dipped. He was now saying he wasn't protesting, he was praying. Perception is key, Tim, because if you're going to kneel with other athletes, when kneeling was a symbol of protest, and then all of a sudden backing up, I wasn't kneeling, I was praying. Right then and there, it looked like he was protesting. So if he wanted to not make any confusion of what you should be smarter, because yes, media would take things the wrong way. Yes, people would take things the wrong way, but you don't do or say something that he's a smart man. You don't do something that's going to cause a controversial towards yourself. That was self-inflicting. That is not the media doing. It's not like the media made him kneel. He did that himself. He caused the confusion. He caused the media to run after red meats. Not the media creating the situation. He created that situation. He should have known better. Not only that that kneeling is a symbol of protesting, and all of a sudden he's doing the same thing, but now he's saying he wasn't protesting, he was kneeling. It's as if he's as naive to not think this is going to cause some kind of controversy on his end. That was self-inflicting. It was his fault.
John, again, my whole thing is the media is running crazy with this.
Yeah, but you can't blame the media in this one. It was self-inflicting.
But Sean, again,
yeah,
Sean, again, he's not playing any football anymore to hide from if he wants to protest or not. The whole thing is this: what I'm trying to say. If the man wants to sit down and pray,
but you know what, Tim? If he wanted to pray, he should have made that clear from the beginning. You do not do anything to cause a confusion. You can't be that naive. You make it sound like he just didn't know. He knew what he was doing.
Sean, here's the thing, Sean. I've never understood that that you have to. It's like a handbook now.
It's not a handbook.
No, this is crazy. No, this is the thing.
Give red meat to the media. They complain about the media.
Let me finish. I let you speak. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Boys, perfect example. They held locked in arms, took a knee before the anthem. Then when the anthem started, they respectfully saluted the flag. Now here's the thing: when it was asked what did it mean, they said, "Well, we want to lock arms in unity first to show that we're gonna stick together like brothers, regardless of race." So respect to the military, the men and women in armed forces. Now here's the thing: people are going crazy, calling him a P word, disrespect, you're stupid, X, Y, and Z. And here's my thing: what got to me. I'm not gonna protest, no disrespect, to hate somebody or go against somebody or show, I'm gonna disrespect that flag. My whole thing is this: if I'm gonna show that Shim, Fogman, Sean, y'all my brothers, and I respect y'all, I'm gonna show that. If I'm gonna show I support the military, I'm gonna show that. If I'm gonna say not only am I gonna need, but on my personal time, I'm gonna go out there and do and have some action to show, like what Kaepernick is doing. The only one man. So everybody's following what he's doing. I want to see who's gonna, besides him, Michael Jenkins, Anquan Bolden, who's gonna follow suit into these communities now. That's what I'm saying. But my thing is this: it's like a competition. Everybody wants to see who's kneeling, who's not kneeling. That guy. No, this guy looks better than that guy here. Well, listen,
but that's not the argument I'm making, though. You're right. That's not the argument I'm making. My argument is this: Ray Lewis self-inflicting this drama on himself. He gave, I agree, because the media and some people who are overzealous, they'll take it too far. Yes. But when you put yourself purposely in a situation to give red meat for those people to go after it and blow it out of proportion, Ray have to take partial responsible for that. Yes, I blame media for blowing things out of proportion. Yes, I don't like people who overzealous to make this bigger than what it needs or make it about them instead of the message. And I agree, people do that. The media does that. But you know what? Ray Lewis purposely put himself in that situation. He deserved partial blame to make this about him and not about what Kaepernick is trying to spread, the message that he's trying to relay. Ray Lewis made it about him. He take partial responsibility. Yes, blame the media. Blame the overzealous. Ray Lewis should have thought better than doing what he did then, because he's taking the focus away from the original subject. He takes partial blame. I'm not saying full blame. He takes partial blame.
Now I'll give him 80% of the blame. He put himself in that position. Like you said, that's not partial. That was a conscious decision that he made. Live with the consequences.
Listen,
he made that conscious decision. You can't just say it's not his fault. He should have handled it better. And he
but here's the thing about it, and I'm gonna stick to this. Just because he's not trusted, he can be judged or whatever it is. I still don't. Listen to me, Sean. I still don't feel his statue should be thrown out. I agree. And another thing, I don't believe now why people are bringing up his the murder case.
I agree.
You bring it up now because you hate the man. Instead of why wasn't it brought up when the statue was first built? See, this is what I'm trying to say. How the people, this is what I'm trying to say right now, the ones who are doing this, who are saying to Ray Lewis, "Oh no, bring up the murder case, take up the statue," you're turning into the ones.
Yeah, and I said that already, Tim. I said that they're partial to blame. But guess what? If Ray Lewis didn't do that, this wouldn't be a big thing. It wouldn't blow up in his face like that. He should have made a better conscious decision.
And another thing I want to ask anybody is, for the NFL players who don't want to do it, and whoever's out there who criticize these players, I want you to put yourself in their shoes and ask yourself, if somebody came up to you and said, if you protest $1 million, I want to see everybody lie to our faces and say, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it because you're lying. If you're making if you are where you are right now, making the type of money they're making, getting hit, going through concussions, walking there with one leg, and you're gonna say if you should protest. Why? For me, you know why? You don't need that money. I want to see would you do the same thing. 90% will be lying and say they would. No, you wouldn't. Well, no, you would not. You would not sacrifice. You would not sacrifice good food, living in a mansion, okay, having a maid named Casquela, waiting your hand and foot, getting baths and shower, getting the best cars in the world, go travel around the world with your family and kids. You're not giving that up. Anybody who
there was a lot of look at all the players that actually did that though. Just this past weekend, look at all the players that did that. Obviously, players said, "Okay,
fine." You know why they did it? Fine. Is it opinion? Now, hold on. Spoon about to get light up now. Spoon about to light it up now. You know why they did it? They did it because
now you're making suggestions.
Hold on. They did it over a tweet now. Over a tweet.
But don't judge or doing it though.
Wait a minute. Hold on. All I'm gonna say is this. This was done over a tweet by probably our leader, 90% of the world probably doesn't even like. But here's another thing. Why was it not this done? Kaepernick took a knee. When he took a knee, nobody. All you saw was two.
But Tim, to be
from
fair,
like 4 different teams who did it over a year. Then the season started. One guy took a knee. One guy sat down.
But Tim, to be fair,
now the one. Hold on, Sean. One man spoke. What? A bitch? Oh no! Everybody lock arms.
But Tim, to be fair,
it's not a long time ago.
But Tim, to be fair,
a long time ago, Five. The message has changed, Five.
But Tim,
the message has changed. It should have been still about Cap. Now it's becoming a different message, Five. Am I right or wrong?
But Tim, to be fair,
what happened this past weekend? Yeah, it was this was all the message got completely diluted.
There you go.
But Tim, to be fair, you can't just say, well, you should have done it earlier. If they're doing it now, they're doing it now. Why they didn't do it earlier is their choice. Maybe they wanted to. Whatever the reason may be, I don't think it's fair to judge someone, oh, now you're doing it.
No, Sean. I would say it's not fair to make that judgment just yet. Next week, if we see players going back to normal, we can make that judgment. Okay. And Tim's 100% right. Tim's 100% right with that.
Fair enough. Josh, you've been really quiet. I mean, we should end this soon because we went way overboard. But you have anything to add to this, Josh?
No, I've just been enjoying the discussion, but I see both sides. So, I mean, I already pretty much made my statement in the beginning. With the whole Ray Lewis episode, though, I kind of side with you and Steve a bit. It's just it's like you can't trust him coming out like that and just being like, oh, what? Well, I was on 2, so it's really I was talking to God because it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just crazy. That's just a lot of bullshit to me. Until he remains consistent on something, it's going to be hard to trust whatever he's
saying. Why did you do that in the Cartman voice?
Dad, I hope you're listening to me. Faith plus 1.
But I also see Tim's side. Like, some people, I do understand Tim's point because I'm a big guy that's like, media portrays so much shit and they'll just blow up something, just be like, oh, whoa, look at this now all of a sudden. But, at the same time, I agree. It's a little like Seesaw from Ray. It's like, whoa, buddy, you were just on Team Blue. Now you're Team Red all of a sudden. What's going on, man?
Media's going to do after that. I mean, look, media's foolish. Doo-doo of late. Don't get me wrong. They will blow, but if you're going to give them red meat to blow something out of,
but see, here's the thing, Sean. You know what's funny, Sean? I'm glad you said that, Sean. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
The media, right? Do we understand now? And again, I'm not saying I agree with it, but do we understand why maybe some teams?
I've been saying that too. But the thing is, I don't know, man.
I'm just saying, we see what's going on. You see what's going on. Again, and here's the thing. People, they want to play football. They want it to be. Right now, when you turn on any network, it used to be about this guy MVP stat, this guy that stat. No more. Respect what the picture is. Don't get me wrong. We need change. I'm all for it. But I'm just saying, it's not about stats in football no more. It's about something bigger. And again, this is what a distraction is all about, where you take away what we want to do and put something in place.
But
now, when certain people say, well, the NBA is much stronger, well, here's the thing. Look at the NBA players check and see how much the owners can control them versus the NFL, who have the check. Remember, NFL money is not guaranteed. You can be cut and be ass out and broke versus the NBA. The worst player in the league is getting $150 million. You need me more than I need you, sir. So there's a difference. It gives you more freedom reign to speak whatever you want to say and do what you want to do versus the NFL. You're like this. If I get cut tomorrow, I got no money. Do we see where Lucky Whitehead is at?
Well,
Lucky Whitehead is at?
I hear you.
I do have a few bullet points, actually, I do want to list just before we end it. The one that just blows my mind, it's just like the hypocrisy of America in general. Like, these people are the ones yelling at their tube, like, you can't kneel on the field for that, you idiot. But they're the same ones that'll go through a McDonald's drive-thru, get out of their car, hold up the rest of the line because they forgot a small McNugget or some shit in their bag. It's the same shit. You're holding up everyone else for your own bullshit. And it's same thing. It's a protest because you're not getting your way, but he can't do it peacefully. The second one is the people that are disbanding the NFL and burning their jerseys because of what's happening before the entertainment. Hold on a second. So you're telling me you're getting mad over the minute before the entertainment actually starts? Get the fuck out of here.
No, not even that. Not even that. Not even that. I'll say get the fuck out of here. Them damn nuggets, them chili sauce. I want my chili sauce, damn it. But another thing to add on to that, Shem, another thing. Again, the ones who don't take the damn earwax out your ear, it's been said no one is protesting against the military. No one is protesting against the military.
Exactly.
Understand
that was the thing. People think Cap is protesting the flag.
Can I add something?
Respect the flag of the military. Hello.
Can I add something to Josh? That really grinds my gear with this whole thing about look at the VA. The Congress cut the VA all the time. There are wounded soldiers that needed help. Where's the outcry? So many veterans are homeless. Yeah. Where's the outcry? In the Vietnam War, the war on terror, bullshit wars. We send these young men and women. these young men and soldiers, these warriors, to go fight a bullshit war for a few interests?
Because it's not a trending topic on social media.
Yeah,
it's a topic. You got to remember, it's a topic that entertainment is predominantly controlled by the government. So you're not going to get that news because that news is going to make them look bad. So anything to deflect from the attention being paid to them.
Oh, I agree.
The shit they're doing.
But the war on terror was all over media. Everybody knew that this was a bullshit war. It was blown out of proportion, but yet nobody really came after, George W. Bush. No one really came after Barack Obama for all those drones attacks that made the war on terror even worse. But yet, Colin Kaepernick gets all this heat. So that's why I say when people say, he's against the military, but yet look at the VA. I mean, that is also in the media. The how they're not being cared for. You have all the money for war, but you don't have war to take care of it. And that is all over the media, but yet you don't see anybody bite an eye.
And what's funny is week three of the NFL season, when Colin Kaepernick first started protesting, the media didn't show after the game where he was taking pictures and signing autograph with the military, man. See, again, the ones who are angry about it, and don't get me wrong, when the national anthem plays, I respect it because I have family and friends and loved ones who fought in the military, and I will always forever do that. So, if you judge me for it, I'm sorry about how you feel like that. I respect that part of the flag's military. It's very strong in my blood. Now, as far as the other stuff, yes, I totally agree. We need social change. But I want to say this. The ones who are angry out there, okay, you're finding an excuse to be angry because finally we are united and getting stronger against the things that you're doing to us, the things that is not fair for us. That's the problem. So you want to go out there and burn a jersey or whatever, you're wasting time because the thing is nobody is disrespecting the military at all. What we're trying to have is social change, equality. That's what's needed. How you get equality? Unity. We come together. This is what's going on. If you don't want to join us, all right, that's on you.
I love the quote that was forwarded today to the wall. Somebody said, if you think Cap was protesting or is protesting the flag, then you must think Rosa Parks was protesting buses and transportation.
Best classic. He just do one day. We got to give him a shout out. What's his name?
I think Hobbs Illusion is the one that forwarded the quote, but I don't know who actually said it.
Buffalo Bills. Okay. Right, and I love it. It's the truth, and that's the main thing. But again, the ones out here who are mad because somebody in the same race of you is not protesting next to you, respect what they're about. You have to respect and support what they're about. If you believe in Barack Obama, our former president, that's the one thing he said last week. You have a different view. You have a different view. It's okay. Like basically, support each other. Support each other's views. Have respect for each other, and that's what it's about.
Well, you know what?
I got one point to make here about the respect issue. Okay. Yeah. And this is to Tim and to Shin. Respect the numbers. Tom Brady has one season in his career that he threw for over 5,000 yards. It was in 2011. He threw for over 5,200 yards. You know how many yards he threw for those first 3 games of that 2011 season? He threw for 1,327 yards. Where is he at after the first 3 games this season?
Oh, see, he burned himself out way too fast that year.
Who's this again? I didn't hear you.
Tom Brady.
Oh. He's going to break the record, Fogman. We know that. He's going to break the record.
I just respect the stats. They're there.
Of course.
On that note, we got to call it a night. We went a little too extra on the time, hot and heavy. There's a tough subject.
Good show. Good show.
It's a good show. I have to give respect to, Captain. I got the shirt. So,
that's pretty dope.
He's my dude. But you know what? I respect other people's opinions and their expression. It's America. You have your expression. I have my expression. As long as the expression does not lead to hate, and don't bring your hate, within this radius. Because there's a fight. You can keep your hate over there, but just
what makes our country so great. We can disagree and still move on.
On that note, I love you guys. We'll be back next week. Same time, same place. Fury in and out. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, 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 pew.